I'm Peter Sidwell, and today's recipe is the ultimate dessert, a vanilla baked cheesecake. Now for me, I love a cheesecake, but if you're going to do it properly. It needs to be thick, deep, rich and full of vanilla. First things first, we need to make a really delicious base for the cheesecake. Digestive biscuits are the perfect choice for this. Weigh them out into your scales. I'm using Taylor's Touchless TARE scales because when you weigh something out and have a reading on it, if you need to zero it to add the next ingredient, you just wave your hand. So blend those to a really fine crumb. Then melt your butter and pour it over the biscuits. Stir it all together. Make sure that it really mixes well together because it's the butter that's going to bind that together and make sure you get a lovely crisp base. For this recipe, I'm using a 20 centimetre loose bottomed MasterClass cake tin. Pour the biscuit base into the bottom of the tin and using the back of a spoon, I'm using my Colourworks one today, and just press it down and make sure the base is level and compact. Weigh out your cream cheese in a bowl on your scales, zero it and then add your sugar. Then you need to mix it together really well. So use a spoon and beat the two together. You want the sugar to dissolve into the cream cheese before you add the next ingredient. Next in the recipe, you need 2 medium egg yolks and 3 medium eggs. This is what's going to help it set and become really delicious and rich. So add those in, give it a stir. Then in with your sour cream. Now, sour cream again kind of works with the balance of it, so it isn't too sickly sweet. That sort of slight acidity just gives it some balance. Add that in. And then flour. You want plain flour and just sprinkle it in. I'm using my Colourworks spoon, but it's actually got a measuring part to it as well. So I can see that I've got a tablespoon of flour in there, but you want 2 for this recipe. Then now fold it together gently. Now that we've added flour, you need to be a little bit more careful. If you really beat this with the flour, it will become quite tough and tight, the mixture. You just want to fold it in gently. Then in with the star of the show, the vanilla. Now, vanilla is very expensive, it's very indulgent, but it is delicious. And the real thing is so nice. So I've got a vanilla pod here. And what you do is take a sharp knife, I'm using my Edge Keeper knife, and just score straight into the vanilla pod and split it long ways down the middle. Then take 1/2 and using the edge of your knife, push the inside of the vanilla pod away from you, and all the vanilla bean paste will collect on the edge of the knife and you'll be able to simply pop it straight in with the cream cheese mixture. Now that you've added the vanilla in, give it a stir around. Make sure you distribute all those lovely little black speckles all the way through the mixture. Then pour it simply over the biscuit mixture using the back of your spoon. Spread it right to the edges. Make sure that the cheesecake mixture fills the entire tin and there are no air pockets in there. If there are, just give it a little tap. And as you tap it, it will fill the mixture into any voids in there. Then level it all off and it's into the oven. 160 degrees, 45 minutes, and it will set beautifully. The only problem is you've got to leave it for at least 3 hours to set in the fridge. There's nothing I can do about that, but I promise you it will be worth the wait. Now, the perfect accompaniment, in my opinion, is a delicious blueberry compote, and I'm going to show you a really simple way to do it. First thing you need to do is pour your blueberries into a nice big pan. It's important that you use a big shallow pan. I'm using a MasterClass non-stick aluminium frying pan on a medium heat. Add in your sugar and leave it. Do not touch the compote at all. Let it melt together. Let the sugar dissolve into the blueberries. Let it come up to the boil. Give it 2 minutes at boiling and then switch it off. Leave it to cool for 10 minutes and then carefully spoon it in to a homemade preserving jar and then pop it into the fridge. It is the perfect accompaniment to go with my vanilla cheesecake. If you want the recipe, go to kitchencraft.co.uk and you will find it there.